And I'm back. Welcome each and every one of you. I am so sorry it's taken me so long to come back to you, but I have needed a well-earned rest, and a rest I have had. As you can probably tell, I'm still a little bit croaky, but I needed the time out just to get my head sorted and detoxify the soul. So, what are we going to be talking about today? It's a really interesting one, and I really hope that you enjoy the video because it's a good one to come back to. Let's get into it, shall we? First things first, we cannot mention this video without saying happy birthday to Prince Louis. Now, he's 3 today. I have to explain something to you. When William and Catherine release birthday photographs of the children, they're always embargoed. The previous night, so the eve of their birthday, it's always released at 10 p.m. Everybody knows this, as royal fans eagerly await such pictures know that at 10 o'clock the embargo is lifted, and not only do the Kensington Palace Twitter account post the photo, that's when all the royal reporters who have been sitting on said photos are able to release them. But we've known from the past that previous birthdays and or special royal events, anniversaries, birthdays, always try and get trumped by the certain duo. So yesterday was the eve of Prince Louis's birthday. Happy birthday, young man. And it was slightly late with the embargo released photo. Normally, like I said, it would have been released at 10 o'clock. But this one didn't get released for some reason until 10:30. Now, 18 minutes prior to this, Page 6 released a pap picture of Meghan and Archie. Now, I'm going to give you fair warning. Archie's a beautiful child. We all have our varying degrees of theories with regards to his birth and the situation. That's not what I'm going to get into in this video. But this was released 18 minutes prior to Princess Louis's birthday photo. Now, that isn't a coincidence, I don't think, at all. She's got form before. She's done this multiple times. And yes, Backgrid was used for the photo. She's used Backgrid on so many pap walks. These are just a few of them that Backgrid have been used for. We've had Meghan picking up her friend from the airport in Canada. We've had them doing a dinner date with David Foster and Catherine McPhee out in Montecito. We've had Meghan going on a seaplane to the women's shelter. We've had them coming back to Canada from a business trip, coming off the aeroplane. We've had the now infamous Canada photos of her taking the dogs for a walk with the so-called child in a papoose looking extremely uncomfortable. We've had the Angel Project's food delivery. We've had them walking from an appointment in Hollywood. And now we have the child walking, or rather being carried, by the very pregnant Meghan. That's something I'm going to go on to in a minute. What do all of these photographs have in common? Backgrid. Now, there was a very bizarre Daily Mail comment that's been floating around on social media. And while I didn't hold much credence to it, it now makes absolute perfect sense. And this is what it says. Now, bear in mind that this person says they are from Santa Barbara. It says, well, against everyone's wishes, he returned back here. It's not like she's on bed rest. She's been walking the lower village since the pregnancy, and her mother has her first child wandering around, waiting to be spotted. And on a bar, she and Has walked by, and a group of people having brunch yelled, "Go home." Had to chuckle. She looked ridiculous. Our town is comprised of old Hollywood, not newbies like Oprah and Ellen. They are annoyances, simply proving money can't buy class. The paparazzi from these bumbling fools has caused havoc in town. Can't even go for a simple bike ride. Ergo, got in the way UK and they weren't welcome here, and clearly from the other posts they aren't welcome back in the UK. It's an utter shame to disrespect a woman who spent her entire life in service, a service she didn't ask for and just lost the love of her life. I'd like to point out that a lot of royal reporters have not posted this video, but a lot of them have made reference to it, and they've made reference to the comparison that this was dropped 18 minutes before Prince Louis' birthday photo was released. This is no coincidence at all. Now I have to mention the elephant in the room. Archie is nearly 2 years old. Babies are very heavy at that particular age. She looks heavily pregnant. She's also wearing extremely flimsy shoes, and it looks like her feet are actually sliding out of the shoes onto the pavement. Would you risk carrying a very heavy toddler on your bump that looks extremely uncomfortable and wearing those shoes? And of course the merching has begun on Meghan's mirror. It only took literally 20 minutes before they had all the details of what she was wearing. I wonder how they got that information. Maybe it was a short little trip from the car to wherever they were going. He's wearing a backpack. She's carrying a lunchbox. Where were they going? Was he going to daycare? Have they got him in finally to some socialising classes? I don't know, but it just reeks of desperation. What I find particularly odd is that all of this time that they have been in California, the child has not been papped, and then all of a sudden, poof, here we go. But this is clearly an invasion of not just her privacy, but more importantly, Archie's privacy. As I've said previously, the royal reporters are not putting this out, and it seems that the majority of the UK papers aren't making reference to it either, which kind of defeats the fact. If she was the one to put it out there, it's not really worked, has it? I think what's happening now is the papers are getting wise to the game that she's playing. That this coincidence keeps happening time and time again. When something important is up and coming, oh look, something happens, a bit of news comes out, a papped photo comes out, something's leaked, a friend has spoken, something to outshine whoever is involved in the important event from the royal family. And it makes me wonder, if the royal reporters and the newspapers have cottoned on, the palace must have too. Now, there are rumours surrounding the fact that Harry was obviously back for Prince Philip's funeral, and that he had met and spoken to Charles and William, and apparently the Queen as well. It was a bit frosty, and nothing was really resolved. But these leaks didn't come from Buckingham Palace. They came from the Sussex team. Now, it's now being reported that both William and Charles are very nervous of even suggesting or talking to Harry about anything important, because they are aware that leaks will happen. It's either going to be Gail, Oprah, or the mouthpiece that is Omid Scooby, isn't it? But it's very interesting that the papers are not picking up on this yet. And here in the UK, it's 10:30 in the morning. This photo was dropped over 12 hours ago, and if they were going to run with it, they would have done so already to try and capture the morning commute, the people that read the news in the morning. That's not been done. So are they going to run with it, or are they just going to cut off their air supply? Another issue people are raising is the size of the bump, and she's apparently due in summer, or that's what we were originally led to believe. Now summer starts on the 21st of June. That is now 2 months away. That's not a 6 to 7 month bump at all. I think somebody's playing little porky pies with the due date, like she did with Archie. Whether or not she carried that baby, it's up for grabs. Everybody has their own theory on that one. It's not what we're talking about today. But we've known from previous pregnancy, or previous shenanigans, I should say, that the bump changed so much that our heads were spinning. And I think this is the same again. The surrounding of Archie's birth was so secretive. The due date was always moving. Can you remember the now infamous Birkenhead visit where she wore that red and purple Diana tribute outfit? She said, we're almost there. No, it was the 14th of January, for goodness sake. You weren't almost there. So that, again, twisting and twisting, making people think that they're playing a game. And this is why people are getting ticked off, or have been ticked off for a while now, because nothing is ever straight forward. It's mind games, it's manipulation, and it's all done to make sure that she gets maximum coverage. And I believe, and I will eat my hat if this isn't the case, that this was a staged pap picture. It's no coincidence that this was released just before the embargoed picture of Louis. I find it quite troubling that a 39 40-odd woman manipulates media to upstage a 3-year-old nephew. I think that is disgusting, to be quite honest. If she's proved to be behind these pap shots, if she's proved that she set up or gave a quick telephone call saying, I'm going to be here, come and photo me, then you are despicable for overshining a 3-year-old's birthday. That is a narcissist's move. But what it goes to show is now the world will now be looking at the timing of these two photographs, and hopefully more people will come to the side and go, why on earth was that done? It's a bit of a coincidence, isn't it? Could she have been involved? It raises more questions and hopefully will open more people's eyes. And like I said previously, the UK papers aren't running with this. It's only been run with Page 6, and I think Hello have done a little bit of a write-up on it, but nobody's running with it. And in fact, last night, even an hour and a half after it all happened, she wasn't trending. Meghan wasn't trending. Archie wasn't trending. But Prince Louis was. And that to me is an absolute win. It's sad, it's predictable, but ultimately it tells you exactly the type of person who can prearrange this to be done, pap shot, to be released at the same time as a 3-year-old's birthday photo. She played the same game with Prince Philip's funeral, making sure that everybody knew which wreath was hers, how she sent it, and the fact that she herself had spoken to the Queen. And anybody that believes that, really, you do need the wool pulling from your eyes. It's a manipulated PR game, pure and simple. I think somebody's having major wobbles that she isn't quite as desired and as needed and as sought after as she originally thought her and Harry leaving the royal family would be. We have another huge royal family event next week on the 29th of April, which is William and Catherine's 10th wedding anniversary. Now you've got to wonder what else is going to happen. Are we going to have a major leak coming through from the Sussex's camp? Or is there going to be another pap shot? Or is something going to happen to try and outstage or upstage William and Catherine? It would be pretty silly if she did, but not unexpected. So I would love to know your thoughts on this timing issue of the pictures being released by Page 6 and the Cambridges releasing their birthday picture of Prince Louis. Is it a coincidence, or do you just think that there is a huge media PR campaign to steal the limelight of any royal family member that has anything to celebrate or anything of interest to say? It does seem rather coincidental that these things just keep on happening, doesn't it? What do you think of the picture itself? Do you think that it's bizarre that she's carrying a very heavy toddler on a huge bump with extremely flimsy, unsuitable shoes? I mean, when I was pregnant, I've been pregnant twice, I'm 5'2", so I'm a pretty small person, and my bump was humongous because the only way that it could go was out. I had to wear really sensible shoes, otherwise I'd trip. My balance was all over the place. But that's just me. I think it just seems so off, doesn't it? It's the timing that I can't get my head around. Well, I can because it's expected. She's done this before. But I'd like to know your thoughts on this matter. The timing, is it a coincidence or is it a planned PR stunt? As always, I'd love to know your thoughts. Thank you very much for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit the notification bell and also that like button. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all of my followers for all the tips and all the emails, DMs that everybody sends to me. It really is greatly appreciated. So thank you very much for watching once again.